Hi, I am here in Orlando, Florida at Cira World, one of the most amazing events I've ever come across, with my friend Todd Ehrlich. Todd, how are you, Todd?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Cindy
Paul.
Barbee. Cindy, we'll introduce you a little bit later and say,
Hi.
who is this mysterious woman?
Yeah, we'll find out. There's no doubt you're going to find out.
So, Todd, I've known you for years and years.
Yeah.
I knew you before CIRIC even existed, and you decided to become a CIRIC user and power user, and now CIRIC teacher, mentor, and you've actually evolved a company called Digital Enamel from all this. So
Digital Enamel, yeah.
why don't you talk to me a little bit about Digital Enamel for starters?
Yeah, well, Digital Enamel is our education center down in Austin, Texas, and I've been an advanced CEREC trainer for over 12 years, and I've taught thousands of doctors, and I came up with a plan on how it best fits general dentistry. I know that seems strange because we get so tuned into the technology, but when in
You're
reality,
still a dentist.
Yeah, you're still a
Right.
dentist, and the most important thing is what you leave behind. That's the most important thing. And so one thing that we do in our training programs is we don't just teach the process, we motivate people to save tooth structure, which, in American dentistry today, we tend to do a lot of full coverage restorations, and we're taking a lot of tooth structure off because we don't know how to do it another way. Well, when you can eliminate a temporary, I know as simple as this sounds, when you eliminate a temporary, it's easier to do partial coverage.
Well, I was just going to say, when the biggest nightmare for a dentist doing partial coverage restorations is the temporary.
That's right.
They're falling off. You have to
Right.
cement them with hard cements, permanent cements, and it's just a nightmare.
It can be a
Whereas
nightmare.
you can do it right there, and you are saving cusps and parts of teeth that you wouldn't do
Right.
before. And even your preparations can be a little bit less aggressive because the impression system is less, and also there's some new materials out. I think there's new zirconia too, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. So CEREC has now evolved into the whole Chairside zirconia world, and you know what? That stuff is awesome. Now, zirconia is zirconia.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Right.
opaque and stuff like that, but
But to make it in your office,
to make in the office, I mean, it takes maybe just a couple more minutes of some other materials that we use in our office. And, for those dentists that have always shied away from chairside CAD-CAM, and you're doing zirconia in your office, you're doing CAD-CAM dentistry.
Oh,
You're
without
just
a
paying
doubt.
somebody else to
to
do
do
it.
it.
Well, actually, right now, every dentist is doing CAD-CAM dentistry, whether they know it or
Yeah,
not.
that's
Right.
right.
When
They
you
don't know-
send something to the lab, even if it's an impression, they're going to
Yeah.
scan it and go from this workflow anyway.
Yeah. So we've taught a lot of people in our courses, and Cindy is my assistant. So we've done a lot of dentistry together, and in our courses she helps. And one day she was sitting there telling me about one of the doctor and the assistants, the dynamics of them, and we started noticing this with almost everybody's how they had a lack of communication in the process of how to deliver that one visit restoration. So we developed a course called CEREC Aces.
Well, how does that work, Cindy?
So just being in an environment, communication and relationships are really important because we work so close together. And sometimes I think mine and Dr. Ehrlich's work relationship is so great that we tend to forget that sometimes there's conflict and there's things that can happen.
Right.
And that was the great thing about our straightforward course was sitting in there. We encourage them to bring their team members, and we see the interaction, and we then come up with, we need to help the communication of it. We need to help the assistant to be confident and comfortable in
Right.
what she's doing and how she can help to deliver a final restoration
But
and be
in my
feel
eyes,
good.
the assistant becomes even more important all of a sudden
Oh,
because
absolutely.
I think that, Todd, you can do a lot of the preparation, the physical preparation, but
Yeah.
you can also, at that point, say, all yours, Cindy, and you can go ahead and not just make a temporary now,
Right.
you're making permanent restorations.
I'll give you a perfect example. The perfect example is in the final restoration with CEREC, we're marking our margin. We see doctors and assistants, they've never talked about it. Like, does it go here? Where does the doctor want it? Does he want it over here or over here? And the assistant's looking at me like, I don't know where he wants it. I said, well, why don't you ask him?
Ask him.
He's right here. And
Ask
so
him.
we have been blown away that they don't talk. And,
Well-
a temporary margin
Yeah.
isn't really that critical, so you don't have to talk about that.
Right.
But that's
Yes.
also, as and I can tell you this from experience, and I'm sure you have the same experience, as you're working on a patient, you get a kick in your leg every once in a while. You missed that spot over there. She's watching your preparations. Say, Todd, you have to, you didn't reduce enough on the buckle or something.
that's-
And that is exactly right, because what happens is the assistant doesn't want to say,
Right.
and then you go to proceed to the next step, and what do? He hasn't reduced enough. You're afraid to say, so you move forward, and now the
You're
time
part of the
and
process.
your process
Yeah.
is not working properly.
So think about that just for a second. So let's say that the assistant didn't want to go talk to the dentist because he under reduced, which happens a lot, right? They finish the product, And then, say 2 or 3 years, the restoration breaks.
And you see, gee, it's too thin over here.
Yeah, it's too thin.
Right.
So what happens is the blame goes on the technology, when in reality it was a lack of communication between the team to deliver the right restoration. And so that can be a big problem in not only CAD/CAM dentistry, but other types of aspects of dentistry.
Absolutely.
And in our courses, we focus on that greatly because it is about what you leave behind.
Well, one of the things that you do, both of you do very nicely, is you have social media videos that I watch myself, and I kind of enjoy them. And there are tips there for dentistry in general, not just CEREC dentistry or 3D dentistry, and that's what really makes this interesting for me from both of you.
What do you think about our title, Open Margins?
That was very fun.
Kind of catchy,
I was sitting there thinking, what is a dentist not going to want to ever have? We planned that out.
You never want an open margin.
That's
There
right.
you go. There it is.
But you walk the walk on that one.
Yeah, that's right.
That was
have
really
a lot of
something.
fun.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like I'm at the Country Music Awards here. I don't know why.
Well, I got my boots.
My
You have
accent,
your boots, your
maybe,
accent, you have
and,
the little logo with a CEREC 30. We have a little guitar sitting over there. So, is there anything else you want to give to the people about digital enamel or about CEREC or the whole Sirona, Dentsply Sirona merger or anything?
Well, yeah, I think in you being very into high tech and everything, what a great time it is to be in dentistry. It's so much fun.
Let me just address that immediately.
Yeah.
Because I have patients coming and they say, Dr. Paul, when are you going to retire? I go, why would I want to
Why
retire?
would I want to do that?
I come to work, I actually have fun, and they can't understand that.
Yeah, you and I are so much the same. I'm trying to grow my hair out to look just like yours. I'm
I
just
hope
a few
not.
years behind.
I hope not.
It looks good.
I only
It
do
is
it
looking
because I
good.
can.
That's right.
Well, Ciro World, Orlando, Florida, Todd Ehrlich,
Oh,
Cindy Barbee, what a pleasure.
thank you.
Born
Thanks
to
so much.
mill,
Born to
right?
mill.
Born to mill.
Born to mill. Oh, where can we get more information about digital enamel?
Yeah. If you go to our website, www.digitalenamel.com, you'll see all sorts of training videos and our videos called Open Margins. I promise you'll have an excellent time. Make sure you watch the end for some awesome bloopers.
The outtakes, they're always
The
fun.
outtake, yeah.
Wait till you see ours. Thanks very much.
Thanks.